Welcome to this weekly COVID-19 update. My name is Dr. Agnes Mahomva, the Chief Coordinator for the National Response to COVID-19 pandemic here in Zimbabwe. Mr. Noble Maungwa is with me on the sign language desk. This week, the Zimbabwe Expanded Program for Immunization, EPI teams from both the national and provincial levels were seen working very hard vaccinating healthcare workers under phase 1 of the national COVID-19 vaccine rollout program. As a reminder, the rollout program is divided into 3 phases. Those with the highest risk, that is the frontline workers, are being vaccinated first under phase 1. My update today is therefore going to focus on some vaccine rollout questions and issues that have come up during the week. But first, let's review our recent COVID-19 statistics. As of Thursday, the 25th of February 2021, Zimbabwe's cumulative number of COVID-19 cases was over 35,000 with over 32,000 recoveries and 1,456 deaths. Bulawayo and Harare metropolitan provinces continue to have the highest cumulative numbers compared to other provinces. This week, the country's epidemic curve showed a very small upward spike. While some have said this is not statistically significant, we say any spike, no matter how small, should make us sit up, pay very close attention, and work to ensure that the general downward trend we have observed since mid-January is not lost. The country cannot afford to find itself in a third wave. Coming on to the ongoing vaccine rollout, despite initial public concerns, fears and misinformation on COVID-19 vaccines, the national vaccine rollout kicked off very well. Good progress has been made with the vaccination teams expected to complete phase 1 soon and move on to phase 2 and phase 3 of this important national vaccine rollout. The aim is to cover at least 60% of the whole population in order to achieve herd immunity so that we can protect the nation from a potentially more deadly third wave. As we roll out the national vaccine program, let us pay attention and address vaccine misinformation and questions that are circulating amongst ourselves. The first question or issue that has been raised is that the sign of vaccine that Zimbabwe is rolling out has been developed too quickly. So is it really safe and can it be trusted? All COVID-19 vaccines have been developed very quickly in record time, I might add, due to the need to save lives now and not later. This, however, does not mean that the required development processes, that is the clinical trial phases, were not properly followed. The required clinical trial phases were followed properly. Specifically, the first phase was implemented to confirm the safety of the Sinopharm vaccine. Safety of the vaccine was also confirmed in phase 2 of the vaccine development trials, in which thousands, and I mean thousands of participants were involved. The vaccine is therefore safe, and yes, we can trust it. The second question, are Zimbabweans not being used for testing vaccines? We have heard that question this week. Once again, the vaccine that Zimbabwe is using has gone through the required safety trials. Zimbabweans are not being used to test experimental vaccines. The vaccine also, and I want to repeat, also successfully went through the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe, MCAS, the regulatory processes, and was given emergency use authorization. Emergency use because we are in an emergency. The pandemic is an emergency, and we need to save lives now and not later. The third question, does this vaccine not have many risks. We have said it's safe, but what about risks? For any medicine or vaccine, whether it is new or old, there is no such thing as zero risk. What we therefore do is weigh the benefits of the medicine or the vaccine versus the risks. The benefits of COVID-19 vaccines that have successfully gone through the required development processes, the checks and the clinical trials outweigh the risks associated with these vaccines. In addition, most of the non-risk or side effects are minor and can be managed very successfully. We have learned this with other similar vaccines that use inactivated viruses that we have used in the past and that we continue to use even now. Number 4, we have learned that some can still get COVID-19 after they have been vaccinated. So people have asked, so why should we bother? Well, no vaccine provides 100% protection. However, the majority of those who are vaccinated, the majority of vaccinated people are protected against the disease or against severe forms of the disease, including protection against death from the disease. This is why we bother and why you must bother and get vaccinated. We want to protect the population from the kind of a scenario we found ourselves in January 2021 when lots of people got severely ill and many went on to die. If we move on to point number 5 that has been asked a lot this week, some who have already had the COVID-19 disease and recovered from it have asked if they still need to be vaccinated, since once again they say they have already had the disease and they have recovered from it and must therefore be immune already, i.e. they feel they must be protected from getting the disease again. Well, getting COVID-19 vaccine is advisable for everyone, including those who have already had the disease and have recovered from it. This is because it is not yet known exactly how long the acquired immunity that those who have had the disease will last. Vaccination for such people will therefore boost whatever immunity they might still have. So today we are all very proud that our national COVID-19 response has been elevated to a much higher level following introduction of vaccines. We, however, once again need to remember that vaccines are not the be-all and the end-all. They are not the magic bullet for this disease. We still need to continue paying attention to all the other preventative measures that we have talked about here every single week. In other words, the best way, in addition of course to the vaccinations, to prevent a third wave and hence save ourselves as individuals and as a population, save ourselves from COVID-19, is to continue washing our hands with soap and running water, sanitizing our hands with alcohol-based sanitizers, social distancing, staying away from gatherings, and of course, always wear a face mask properly. Thank you.